Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
All right, welcome back to the show, cats and kittens and people of all ages and wherever you happen to be and whatever you happen to be doing. Welcome to our second public broadcast of the week, and you're welcome. Zachary, get out of your phone and say hello to people.
Hi. Well, I didn't say hello last time and it wasn't on my phone, so.
You didn't say hello?
No, I just ended up popping in. I don't even remember when. It was like 18
minutes. Did you pop in and out?
Well, I'm here now. Hi.
That's Zach's shipping ogre. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, we didn't introduce ourselves on Monday like we usually do.
Well, we could do that.
Nah.
I'm me. I'm Paul Markle. I'm host of the show, in case you didn't know. If this happens to be your very firstest time ever, well, bless your heart. Good job. And what you should do, it's really simple. Yeah, you know, Jared, sometimes I wonder if people don't understand how to listen to Student of the Gun Radio. Do Americans know how to listen anymore? Or do they just, like, constantly interject? I'm almost afraid that our inability to shut our mouths and listen has turned us into a bunch of an imbecile nation, like people who comment on. Jared, did you see the other day? I shared Paul Howe's article, the article that Paul Howe wrote, and it was on soldier systems, and it was all about American law enforcement, military, and the potential for gun confiscation in America, right? It was a very, very thoughtful article, and Paul had written it actually about 3 years ago, but you can still find it on soldiersystems.com, right? Or .net or .org or whatever they are. So I shared that, and I said, hey, everybody needs to read this. Here's the link, and so forth, on Facebook.
That's the problem. And we've already established that Facebook specifically, but social media in general, is clearly not for people to learn things. So if you keep going back and posting educational things, unless it's in the Liberty Mastermind, then I would expect them to actually read it and listen, or read it.
But this is a sad thing to me. Yeah. So it's on the Student of the Gun page, right? And there's the title, and it's a link, and there's a photo, and people start chiming in, writing imbecilic nonsense as comments, right? Obviously having not read it. And so I went in there and I said, you might want to read this, the article, before commenting on it. And someone says, I don't click on links because they lead to spam and malware or whatever. It's like, okay. So you don't click on links because they lead to malware and spam. First of all, I didn't email it to you, you mongoloid. Second of all, if that's the case,
how'd you get to Facebook?
Yeah, how did you get to Facebook? And not only that, but you're like, so I don't click on links. All right. Then why would you even leave a comment? Exactly. We have fully grown adult humans in this country that are functional mongoloids. They're like functional retards. And the reason I bring this up is because it's so prevalent. Folks, we're never going to get out of this hole that we've dug for ourselves if we can't just like shut our mouths and listen. And the sad thing is, like, oh, it's just such and such. Dude, it's like thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. I don't know. Student of the Gun, if you're going to get anything out of this show, you've got to discipline yourself to the point where you close that hole under your nose and open up both your ears and actually listen. I know. I just lost half the audience, and that's fine. If I just lost half the audience because they don't want to listen, then I don't even know why they would be here in the first place. That's almost my second favorite comment to the what have you done, Paul Markle, to defend the Constitution and the nation? Yeah. I don't know. What have I done? You know what else? You know what I do? Do.
No.
Every Monday through Friday morning, myself with the great assistance of Zachary, the shipping ogre, who not just a shipping ogre, but he's also a producer. Zach actually produces the Morning Mindset podcast, and he makes sure that you freaks get to hear it Monday through Friday. And it's a separate entity. It's not Student of the Gun. It's off on its own. And I talked to someone the other day, and I said, "Are you still listening louder?" And they're like, "Well, whenever I have the chance and have time." And I said, Morning Mindsets are only about 10 minutes. You can listen while you're drinking your coffee. And he said, "You're right." See, I'm just removing all the excuses. People are like, I don't have time to listen. You don't have 10 minutes while you're drinking your coffee? You don't have 10 minutes while you're commuting to work? Right. That's what we're all about here, aren't we, Zachary? About eliminating excuses.
That's exactly what we're about.
No more excuses. NMFE.
Yep. Coming soon, maybe, possibly.
Well, NMFE is universal, man.
I know, but some people who know.
No more Fargan excuses.
Sure.
All right. I see, Jared, that you have instructions. Do you want those to stay in here about the 5-year anniversary? Or are we done with those?
Those are the links that I need to play them for today.
Oh, that's very good of you to do that. All right. So today's Wednesday, and what do we do on Wednesdays? Well, we talk about guns and gear, and we have a Student of the Gun Homeroom, and then we're going to talk about the main topic of the day. But before I do that, I'm going to take an extreme risk, and I'm going to turn over the black carbon steel microphone to someone else and let them talk. And Zach's got a look of surprise on his face. He's like,
"Me?
Am I going to have to carry the show?" Yep. Zach, you have to carry the show for the next 30 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay, cool.
I'm kidding. It's your brother's turn.
I know.
Hey, just Crystal Wall from Arkansas. Figure I'd give you congratulations on your 5-year anniversary. Hope we get to hear lots more.
Hey guys, congratulations on 5 years of radio greatness.
Howdy, this is Ken Ward from Nixon, Missouri. Want to congratulate you on 5 years of podcast. I remember finding episode 1 in one of those bulk podcast group things and quickly unsubscribed to them, but subscribed exclusively to y'all. Congratulations again. Looking forward to 20 or 30 more.
Hi guys, it's Lauren from Missouri. I just wanted to congratulate you on your 5 years, and it's been great growing with you, and it's been great listening to you. Congratulations, and I'm looking forward to more.
Hey, this is Doug Arnold from Carlisle, Indiana. I'd like to wish Student of the Gun Radio a happy 5th year anniversary. And to Professor Paul and the rest of the Markle family, thank you for what you do and keep up the good work. I am a Student of the Gun.
Congratulations, Student of the Gun, on your 5 years of broadcasting excellence. You're a beginner once and a student for life. I am a Student of the Gun.
Hey, this is Justin out of Arkansas. Just want to wish you guys a happy 5-year anniversary for Student of the Gun Radio.
Hey everyone, it's Christopher Umana here in Gardnerville, Nevada at the foothill of the Sierras. Just wanting to wish Student of the Gun a happy 5th year anniversary. Looking forward to 5 more years of education and entertainment. Take care, guys.
All right, freaks and freakettes. It's springtime, or at least it's just about springtime. As a matter of fact, by the time you're listening to this, we've already sprung forward, haven't we? Yes, we have sprung forward. And so one of the things I want to talk about on the guns and gear segment is taking your ammunition and getting your butt into a class. What? Yes. And I mean, obviously you can get ammunition at Brownells. And if you, for right now, actually, as I'm looking at these show notes, at this moment in time, they have a free shipping on all orders $99 and up. So if you buy a case of ammo, probably going to cost you more than $99, right? You use the promo code, you get it shipped to you for free. Good deal, right? Yes, indeed it is. So as the weather warms and we come out of our little cocoons, we come out of our winter caves, now's the time to start thinking about getting yourself into a training class. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's pistol, rifle, shotgun, whatever. But now is that time. You got guns, right? And I know a lot of you during the winter, you got all your gear together, didn't you? You're down in your basement, or you're in your rec room, or you're in the, wherever it is that you fondle your guns. Maybe it's your bedroom that you fondle your guns. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. But you've got all these things. You got this gear, you got these guns, you got these holsters, you got all this gee whiz stuff. Maybe it's time to get your fanny into a class and actually use it. What? Yes. So if you go to brownells.com, and I'm sure that you want to, go there. And like I said, right now, as we were recording this, they have a free shipping code on all orders, $99 and up. And yeah, if you buy a case of 223 or 9mm or whatever, you're going to spend at least $99. Oh, another thing, and this is a good point. And you guys know that we've been talking about conversion barrels and converting Glock 40s and so on and so forth. We talk about that for a while. I mean, that's kind of a common topic. And I don't know how long it's been. It's been, Jared, do you have any idea how long it has been since I came to this microphone and told people that, when was it? I think, I know when it was. Do you remember when we went to the Concealed Carry Expo in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. When was that? That was the spring of 16?
16, yeah, I think 16.
Was it? I don't remember. But anyway, so it's been a while. The reason that I mentioned this, because it was before NRA, because we didn't go to NRA it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. Because last year at this time, we were moving.
Yeah, so 2016.
Yeah, so it was 2015.
No, this is 2018 right now.
Oh, 2016. Okay, all right, whatever year it is, I don't know. My point is this. I had a conversation with the Northeast sales rep from Glock. And he told me that what they were doing is they were filling warehouses full of law enforcement trade-in Glock 40s, 22s and 23s. And that across the board, that law enforcement agencies, when it was time to swap, were swapping out their 40s for brand new 19s and 17s and so forth. And I said to you freaks, here's the deal. This is what's going to happen. These guns are going to start showing up as law enforcement trade-in guns, right? They're going to start showing up at your local suppliers and all these online things. Well, the other day I was listening to Yeager during his YouTube live thing, and he said, "Don't buy them." And I thought, he goes, "Don't buy them now. Wait 6 to 9 months." And I was like, I see how he's doing. He goes, "Wait 6 to 9 months." He said, these guns, these law enforcement trade-in Glocks are stacking up. These 40s, they're stacking up. He said, so don't buy it now. He said, now, here's what I would do if I were you. And this is going to sound weird, but when people start, when they drop below $300, and they will, what's going to happen is you're going to see G22s and G23s. They're going to show up at your dealers and your gun shops, and they're going to show up online, and the price is going to drop below $300. And then you're going to have a price war between various dealers. You're going to see them $299, $279, $275, $259, so forth. Now people are going to buy these things, and when they do, then they're going to run and they're going to buy barrels. They're going to buy conversion barrels. So what I would do if I was you, I'm not you, but if I were, what I would do is I would go to someplace like, for instance, I'm on Brownells.com right now, and Storm Lake barrels. They have Glock conversion barrels G22 to 9mm, 40 to 9, right? It's a 9mm barrel. You drop it in your G22, shoot 9mm out of it. And I would actually go and make sure that I had a barrel first and then watch, pay close attention. And when they start doing the price wars on these law enforcement trade-in G22s and 23s, get yourself one for less than $300. And if you still have a whole bunch of 40 laying around that you want to shoot, great, go crazy, man. But the fact is, you'll be able to drop your conversion barrel in it, shoot 9, and you'll have a Glock for basically a fraction of the price of a new gun. How's that sound? Does that work for you guys? I think it does. But I just wanted to mention that. I thought that was worth mentioning. Brownells, let me see. If you go to brownells.com, what you should do is sign up for their newsletter, so when they run all these specials, that you'll know. I would suggest that you do that. Froglube is green. It's minty fresh. It's a bio-based firearms lubricant. Yes, it is a bio-based, non-petroleum. It was developed per request of the United States Department of Defense. It is a veteran-owned company, and it's just something you should check out. And it works in the cold. So check out Froglube at froglube.com or at brownells.com or your favorite lubricant dealer. Just do whatever floats your boat. Century Arms, the sweetest-smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A. Yes, indeed. They've got the new C39 V2 pistol. It's an AK pistol, and it has the CAC Shockwave. And when we took the break, Jared, I was looking, and in my my Instagrammage feed, they were promoting that. They had sexy pictures of it up. So if you guys are looking for an AK pistol that's made in the USA and that has the super sexy slim Shockwave stabilizer brace, I'm doing air quotes. You can't see it, but I am. If you'd like that, you can check those guys out at centuryarms.com. DuraCoat, why? Zach, why should we go to DuraCoat?
Because life's too short to have an ugly gun.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Life is too short to have an ugly gun.
That's right. I remember the things you say.
Yeah, you remember the things I say?
Usually.
Zach, how long have we been doing a Quiet Time by Silencer Shop?
3 years.
According to my wife, when did we start doing that? Oh, there you go. Go tattle to her, you little grad program members. Go tattle. No, seriously, though, DuraCoat, because life is too short to have an ugly gun. They've got the color of the month. They have slightly darker black. Yes, indeed. You want to get yourself some slightly darker black. Student of the gun tattoo. I saw something the other day. Someone did a Yeti cup with a camouflage. They did the woodland camouflage pattern, and onto it, they put student of the gun. That's right. So they DuraCoated it. They put the student of the gun tat on it. It was a Yeti cup, and it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. When you freaks do stuff like that, make sure that you're tagging DuraCoat in that, and that you tag student of the gun, because we like to see those things. And I know a lot of you freaks out there like to be creative. You're probably more creative than I am. All right. SWAT Fuel, why? I tell you what. SWAT Fuel, as a company, is run by Dr. Dan. He's an emergency room physician. He's also the SWAT doctor on his local SWAT team. He's the guy that patches them up if they get hurt. And he came up with SWAT Fuel because he's a nutritionist. He wants you to have a stronger body and a sharper mind. Genuinely, legitimately, he cares about his customers. He wants his customers to live a better life. And if you would like to, you're like, okay, you're right, Paul. I've been lazy. I got soft. Everybody goes through a soft time. Everybody goes through a lazy time. Everybody does. And that's fine. The thing is, you just need to be honest with yourself and say, all right, I did. I got lazy. I got soft. I got complacent. But now I don't want to be that way anymore. Great. Fantastic. Go to SWATfuel.com. They have the SWAT box. It's got all the stuff that you need. And you're like, well, can't I just do push-ups? Yeah, you can just do push-ups. But especially if you're over 40, even if you're over 30, you need that extra stuff. Unfortunately, most people's normal diets don't include all the nutrition that they need. And most people aren't getting enough protein. Would you say that is a legit fact, Jared, when it comes to muscular fitness?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I didn't realize before we started with the SSOC is that I wasn't getting enough protein, and I didn't know how much protein I actually needed to get in the first place.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we've lulled ourselves into this belief that, I eat, fruit. I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables and breads. All of those things are carbohydrates. Every one of them. and you can eat fruits and vegetables and, whole grain bread and all that stuff. But if you're actually trying to, build your muscle up, your muscle needs something to repair. And carbohydrates are energy. Carbohydrates don't repair your muscles. And you guys understand that, right? Jared, sometimes I wonder, do they even teach that crap in school anymore? Or are they just like, whatever? We need to talk about, gender sensitivity training and we need to confuse the children with not knowing what sex they are. We don't have time to teach them like actual facts. But the fact of the matter is your body needs vitamins, it needs minerals, it needs protein, and SWAT Fuel can help you with all that stuff. So there you go. If you want to become a member of the student lounge, if you want to hang with the cool kids, and you don't have to necessarily hang with the cool kids, but if you want to access all that we have to offer, the videos, the written articles, the audio segments, all of that good stuff, the training. Yes, all that. We've got the 7 training tips that can save your life that you get for free. You can access the new 5 handgun strategies, 5 handgun strategies. 5 handguns that every instructor should master. I got all these things. I got strategies. I got tips and tricks. And
we have too many things to start with numbers.
1-box workouts and all that stuff. But regardless, why don't you take the time to go to getsotg.com and follow the directions, sign up, do everything you need to do. Does that sound good? That sounds good to me. Jared, remind everybody when our Fighting Fitness segment is.
The Fighting Fitness segment is on Thursdays, and I don't remember what I talked about last week, but it was definitely interesting.
It was fiber.
Oh, yeah, fiber. Yeah, fecal bulk.
We got memes.
Yep.
Memes.
Yeah, we did.
People made us.
Yeah. And this week I'll talk about something else that's also cool to talk about. I don't know what it is yet, but it'll happen. And for those of you that are interested in learning more about fitness and specifically strength, go to studentofthegun.com/SSOC. There's a ton of free information there for you. That's not actually owned by us. It's one of our partners that we partner with. And through our partnership, we have a discount for you if you want to sign up for their paid program. Then use the promo code SOTG. And it's not mandatory that you sign up for the paid program. Dad and I both use it, and we definitely recommend it. But so if you do sign up, use the code SOTG at studentofthegun.com/SSOC.
There you go. You know, it just popped up in the little corner of my message screen while I was listening to that, Jared.
What?
I got my feedback from my coach, from my starting strength coach.
Oh, nice.
I didn't read it. But I know it's from him.
That's probably why you didn't read it, huh?
That's right. Well, I've been doing pretty well here lately. It's when I first started, I was like, am I ever going to please this guy? Is there anything that I can ever do to make this guy happy? What did he say to you? I don't hate that.
Yeah, I sent him a squat videos, and I hurt my hamstring, and we're doing another LP on my squats, and we started the LP at 335 pounds, and so I did them, and he'd been getting on me about my depth, and I thought I did a pretty good job, so I sent him, and I was like, hey, this is pretty good, I think. What do you think? And he said, well, I don't hate those.
I don't hate those.
Come on. That's what coaches are for, I guess.
I know. It's true. All right, so let's talk about being dangerous on demand. This is our Student of the Gun Homeroom, brought to you by our good friends at Crossbreed Holsters. And they want you to be an armed citizen. They want you to be dangerous on demand. Now, yesterday, or actually on Monday, whatever, we talked about the fact that you're on your own. This is the reality of the world that we live in. If you are involved, if you are anywhere, whether it's a church, a school, a hotel, a motel, a freaking mall, your workplace, and a terrorist, a disgruntled ex-employee, a little snot-nosed crap bag from Florida, doesn't matter. They walk in and they decide they're going to make everyone pay, right? The only people in that building, the only people that are going to have an opportunity to change the outcome are the people that are there when it starts. Not 911, not the people that are going to stage. I don't know how many times I have to say this. So you're like, okay, Paul, I agree with you. I believe it. So what? Well, so what? If you're going to be an armed citizen, you have to have 4 essentials on you all the time. You're like, it's a gun, right? Yep, but not just a gun. Something sharp, something bright, something medical, and I mean trauma medical, and something lethal. Now, generally, when we say something lethal, we're talking about a firearm, right? Something sharp could be a Spyderco pocket knife or cold steel pocket knife, or it could be a fixed blade knife or whatever. But if you're going to be can I say a grown-ass man? If you're going to be walking around in the world as a grown-ass man, you need to have a daggum knife on you. It makes me want to, it fills me with the urge to defecate when I hear grown-ass men telling me that they don't have a knife on them. Like, are you a child? Are you a toddler? Did your parents not teach you? Jared, do you have a knife on you right now? I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I know Zach does.
I have one on me and literally, let's see. Yep, within arm's reach in front of me, too.
Yeah. It's like, and it, you know what, the thing that kind of like drives me up the freaking wall is when you know, someone's like, oh, hey, do you have a knife or something sharp? And I'm like, you don't? Yeah, well, no, I don't carry one every day. I mean, I don't expect to need it every day. Oh, is that how we live our lives? We live our lives with the I don't expect to need it, which is why you don't have a flashlight, which is why you don't have a gun, which is why you don't have any kind of traumatic medical gear, because you're not expecting to need it. You think the people that find themselves, whether it's in their workplace in San Francisco when the Muslim missionaries come in, do you think they're expecting to need to save their lives that day? You're driving down the street and some jackhole is texting on their phone, not paying attention, and they smash into the side of your car and push it off into the ditch and it rolls over, and now the people in your car are all like bleeding. Were you expecting that to happen today? Oh, you weren't? Oh, well, yeah. That's why if you're going to be an armed citizen, and this is all part of Crossbreed Holsters Homeroom, man, what do we deal with? Dangerous on demand, being an armed citizen. Lethal, sharp, bright, and medical. Now, I understand that many of you listening are younger people, and you are, because of your age, you're in high school or junior high, you cannot, carry a gun, and I wouldn't expect you to, and it's just not going to happen. You can't even have a knife on you. But I tell you what, if you're in high school or junior high or whatever, you can carry a flashlight. Why would I carry a flashlight? I don't know. Do you go inside of buildings? What happens when the power goes out inside of a building? It gets kind of dark, doesn't it? Oh, but that'll never happen. Okay, that'll never happen. Medical. A 14-year-old can provide emergency medical care to themselves or others. You don't need a license. You don't have to be a certified EMT or even a volunteer EMT Bravo. So if you got kids, teenage kids, 12-year-old, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids, there's no reason why you can't teach your kids or send them to a place to learn how to use traumatic medical gear. Absolute minimum tourniquet. And after that, things like gauze, tape, dressings, all that stuff. Flashlights. If your kids don't have flashlights, you're wrong. You're like, I'm not buying my kid a Surefire Tactician because that kid, he'll lose it and I'll be really mad. I'm with you there. That's why we came up with the student kits. The student kit is a less expensive version of the Pocket Lifesaver because, let's face it, if you buy a $50 enhanced Pocket Lifesaver and you give it to your 15-year-old and you ask them where it is and they're like, I think I lost it, you're going to be angry, right? You're going to be mad, right? If you buy your kid a Tactician from Surefire and they lose it, you're going to be angry. But there are aluminum-bodied LED lights that you can get for your kids that aren't super expensive. Just off the top of my head, if you go to your favorite Academy or outdoor stores, Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X, makes LED lights that are not super expensive, but they are aluminum and they're LED and they're good. They're worth having. Jared, can you think of another one that's not up in the Surefire price range, but is still, I was going to say the Keltec light.
The Bright Strike.
Oh, yeah, the Bright Strike.
Yeah.
I
love that flashlight. It's like $70. Right,
I have a Bright Strike, but it's in when we moved, I put all that stuff in storage, and I'll be darned if I don't know where that thing is. Yeah. I went to brightstrike.com. Do you know how many different flashlights those freaks have? A lot.
10,000.
It's available on Amazon. If you go to, it's the Bright Strike Executive.
Ah, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. The Bright Strike Executive. Now, see, we're doing this live. And what is it? YouTube. The reason I wanted to focus on this, because we have gotten a lot of calls lately, or calls. We've gotten messages. And people are like, okay, Smarty Marty, what am I supposed to do? My kid's 15, 16 years old, and, they go to their school and they're not allowed to have pepper spray and they're not allowed to have this, they're not allowed to have that. I'm like, I get it, I understand. But you need to give them something. The last thing I would want from my children are all, well, grown-ass men now and woman. My children are lethal. My daughter is lethal. I tell you what, I would feel bad for anybody who did stupid stuff around my daughter's house, because not only would they die, but they would die from a pink gun. So, so that's added shame and embarrassment. Not only did you get shot, but you got shot by a pink tiger stripe gun. There you go. Remember when they were having the flooding issues, and she was in the kitchen cooking, and she said, don't worry, I'm good to go. She had her pink DuraCoated, the Pink Lady AR-15.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So FYI, my kids are lethal, so don't mess with them. But if your kids, you might not be able to give them anything lethal, and even sharp. I know that we live in badge-tastic world here, and they're not even allowed to have any type of sharp things. I always had a knife on me all the time when I was growing up, but I lived in a different era. You know what I like to think, Jared? That there are tools. Oh, hey, those credit card knives things. I'm spitballing here, but we were just talking about that. The credit card knife. It looks like a credit card, but you snap it in half. Don't you snap it in half and it becomes Sharpie sharp?
I'm not sure how it works.
I'm pretty sure that it looks just like a credit card, and it's not actually sharp until you grab it, snap it in half, and then it has the Sharpie part on it. Because I'm thinking, I was like, okay, if you send your kids to school and they get, they find them with a pocket knife, they're going to call the SWAT team and, put the school on lockdown because your kid has a freaking buck knife in his pocket. But I want my kids to have something. I want them to have tools. So there are ways to get around the vagina world that we live in, that want your kids to be disarmed slaves. So let's do some research. My point is this. I want you to be dangerous on demand. I want you to be safe. And if you ever find yourself in the middle of an active shooter or whatever, a terrorist incident, you're on your own. And all you're going to have, and for all of you people who are like, well, yeah, I all those things that you just mentioned, the lethal, sharp, bright, medical, I have all those staged in a bag in my car. Okay. So you're sitting at your desk in your workplace, and two Muslim missionaries who worked at your place walk in the front door and start killing infidels. And all of your Gucci stuff is in your awesome shoulder bag that is in the trunk of your car. It might as well be on the moon. Okay. If it's not on you, if I count to 3 and you can't put your hands on it, you don't have it. All right. So if you're going to be an armed citizen, there's 4 essentials that you should always have access to, immediate access to all the time. Something lethal, something sharp, something bright, and something medical. Sound good? All right. Venture forth, be an armed citizen.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Fix yourself. I want you to fix yourself. Yeah. Oh, man. You know where I was poking around on while Alice was talking? Because apparently I'm a spastic monkey. I actually went to readyman.com and I was looking at their survival cards. They have some. If you guys haven't gone to readyman.com and looked at their survival cards, you really should. They got some serious, interesting Gucci stuff on there. So check them out. Check them out. It's it'll just cost you a few minutes of your time. Speaking of which, I'm hoping that our package from those freaks will be here today. That'd be nice. All right, let's go to the main story since my sons are apparently sleeping. Let's go to the main story today.
There wasn't really a pickup there, was there?
Oh, you could have just agreed with me.
Yes, good job.
This story actually is from 4/17. Is from 4/17/17. You're like, well, why do I care? That's a while ago. This is a great example. Now, what are we constantly told by our reasonable friends and neighbors and coworkers and whatever? What are gun people constantly told by reasonable Americans? You know, the ones that are in their backyards committing felonies by cutting the barrels off of their guns. Those reasonable people. That we just need more laws. We need universal background checks. Isn't that one of the, that verbiage is reasonable gun owners. They wrap themselves up in that phrase and it makes them feel all warm and cozy. It makes them feel reasonable. We need universal background checks and we need to outlaw private sales. It needs to be against the law for anyone to sell a gun to anyone else without the permission from His Majesty. And this is not this story I'm about to relate to you. This is not the first time this happened. This is not the first time someone has been busted buying guns and then transferring them to people who shouldn't have guns. There's actually a case, I believe it was out of New York, where someone purchased multiple guns. I think it was in the neighborhood of 40 and received probation, right? So on one hand, we're told by the reasonable people of America that if we want to prevent gun violence, we need universal background checks. And then when we find that people are breaking the law, what do we do to them? Well, we got a story here from guns.com, and this story's actually been all over the place here lately because apparently it went through the court system. That's why we're seeing it again. Straw purchaser with 4 felony gun charges will not get jail time. A Chicago area woman was arrested last year for her role in illegally selling guns to prohibited buyers. with some gang affiliations was sentenced to probation. Now, I said at the beginning, if you guys don't know what a gun moll is, a gun moll, and it's short for molly, a gun moll or a gun molly is essentially a woman who holds the guns for her gangster man. Okay? Gun malls. If you I actually put a Wikipedia link in there because, when I was growing up, the term gun mall was actually pretty prevalent because when I was still young, they were talking about Al Capone and all of the Prohibition era gangsters. And the known gangsters, what they would often do is because the cops and the feds, they all knew that Capone was a gangster and they knew that all these other guys. So they wouldn't actually have a gun on themselves. They would have a wife or a girlfriend who had their gun, right? And so if they ever got frisked, they got stopped and frisked, there wouldn't be a gun. But, back then they're like, oh, well, if we grab this guy's girlfriend or wife on the street and we frisk her, it's going to make us look like a bunch of thugs. And so we probably aren't going to do that. So they learned long ago to pass their guns off to their chicks. And then if they ever needed their gat, their chick would pass it over to them and they'd be good to go. So that we have an example of a modern gun mall here and now you're asking, you're like, okay, where is this chick at? Where did this story transpire? It must have transpired in an area with very lenient, a very lenient gun laws or pro-gun or whatever. Yeah, that's why this chick she committed 4 felonies by buying guns legally and then transferring them to people that she knew were on probation, convicted felons, gang members, those kind of folks. Chicago. So we got a chick in Chicago buying guns, taking the guns, and then transferring the guns to gang members, convicted felons. They find out because they recover these guns from crime scenes, right? They find out that she did it, and because Chicago is tough on crime and we have gun laws and derp. She go to jail? We're going to give her probation. So I thought it would be worthwhile to note that the place that every time, Jared, remember the Enforcer? And how every time there was a holiday weekend full of mayhem and murder, they'd run to the microphones and say, we need tougher gun laws in America. And this is another example about how we need tougher gun laws. And we might say to them like, hey, Mongoloid, aren't you the ones who told us how we need super tough gun laws? Yeah. And then you find someone that violated your laws. And what is their punishment? Probation. And as a person who was a police officer for many, many, many years, I can tell you this. Supervised adult probation is a joke. It's a sick joke that is perpetrated by the state on the citizens. People, how many people commit crimes while on probation? A lot. You know how many people I had to arrest that were on probation? The only good thing about supervised adult probation is it makes it easier for a street cop to lock up a douchebag. All right. It's easier because, if you bust somebody who's on probation, you call their PO and then he's like, yeah, lock them up and I'll deal with them on Monday. But supervised adult probation is not punishment. It really isn't. It's a joke. It's a disgusting joke that's played on the American people by our just worthless judicial system. So there you go. Chicago, tough on crime, tough on guns. They find people breaking the gun laws that they've already established, and what do? Well, she said she was sorry. And somebody said that, they said to me, they're like, well, what the heck, Paul? Why in Chicago, the we're tough on crime and we're tough on guns, why aren't they enforcing it? I said, oh, you forgot. You see, gun laws are only there for registered Republicans, conservatives, and Christians. If you're a career criminal or a registered Democrat, they're not really concerned about enforcing the law on you. Now, if you or I were to do that, if you or I were to falsify a document, if we were to do something, use an old ID or something, you and I would be in jail. But that's not the America that we live in. So, all right. Tomorrow on Student of the Gun Radio, and you're like, but tomorrow, tomorrow's a grad program. It's the first grad program bonus hour of the week. Tomorrow we're going to talk about fighting fitness and all kinds of other goodies because it's big boy, big girl time. If you'd like to be a member of the grad program, we wholeheartedly invite you to join. You're going to want to be there. Go to getsotg.com and follow the instructions from there.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys over there.
That's right. Everybody else, we will talk to you on Monday. You're a beginner once, a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
My name is Lauren Hudson. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a student of the gun, and I love SWAT fuel.
My name is Dakota Lobato. I work for Special Operations Equipment. I am a student of the gun, and I love SWAT fuel.
I'm Jason Burnett. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a student of the gun.
I'm Coleman Morrell from Shelbyville, Kentucky. I love SWAT fuel, and I am a student of the gun.